Hello everybody and welcome back to Newegg TV. I'm Steve and today I'm going to do an overview on this, the world's very first Wi-Fi AC750 portable router and charger. And that is by D-Link, model number DIR-510L. Alright guys, before we open it up, I wanted to take a quick look at the front of the box. And I did mention before it's the world's first AC750, and that was just to give you specifics on the speed. It is possible of a maximum theoretical throughput of 750 megabits per second. That's 433 megabits per second on the 5 gigahertz band and 300 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz band. But D-Link is touting this as the world's very first 11 AC portable router. So keep that in mind that you're getting a little bit more throughput than you normally would if you had a slower, maybe just N wireless router for travel. But it is very small. I will give you dimensions here in just a moment, but let's just take a closer look at the box itself. It is, of course, also a portable battery as well, and it would provide an instant Wi-Fi hotspot as well as being able to share your USB storage between your devices via this device. I'm just going to flip it around here and show you guys a little bit more on the back. And it's probably difficult to see, but it is a 400 mAh battery, giving you ability to charge your phones and tablets. There's some limitations on that, but not too many. The USB port is 1 amp on one side and 0.5 amp on the other. Then we have a couple other switches and everything, but let's get into the actual portable router itself. Let's pull it out of the box. Okay, so we'll start out with the paperwork first. We have a D-Link GPL code statement, letting you know information about that. And then, of course, we have the quick installation guide for the SharePort Go 3, which is actually the official name, I believe, of this portable router. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that it does also use a micro USB AC adapter here that you're going to use in order to charge the device. Important, too, because this is going to provide your internet for you in an area where maybe you don't have access to anything but one computer getting access in your hotel room, let's say, to the Wi-Fi. You could use this particular device to become a Wi-Fi hotspot. It'll become a client on that Wi-Fi network and then share it to everything else in your room, which is going to be helpful if you're away and out and about on business trips. There's also a couple other modes, but we'll get into that in just a moment. I want to give you guys a close look of the actual device itself. So the DIR-510L comes in very, I want to say like almost an iPhone 5S type size. More specifically, that's 140 by 59 by 16 millimeters. In inches, that's 5.5 by 2.3 by 0.63 inches in dimensions. So the front and the back, pretty similar. It's pretty much a white brick almost. But I will show you some of the switches here. Let's tilt that down a little bit so you can get a little bit closer in there. I can't quite read it. Let's see, over here to the left we have the on setting, which would basically allow it to go into the router mode, as well as 3G, 4G LTE mode with a USB modem, or become a Wi-Fi hotspot, depending on how you end up setting this up, which I'll show you here in just a moment. And then there's the charger mode, which basically if I flip this over to this direction, it's going to become a charger now and actually provide electricity for your USB-based devices. We also have a WPS button here. On the side, I'll show you the two different ports you have to use. This one here towards the top, that's the 1 amp port. Down here at the bottom, that's the 5 amp port. Some things to keep in mind about this. Basically, if you're charging your USB devices and they draw a total of 0.7 amps or more, power will not be provided. Basically, you won't have enough voltage to charge this device while simultaneously charging your USB devices. And that's basically if you were to plug this in and charge it at the same time that you're trying to charge other devices. But if you put it in the charging mode, which it's currently in right now, it will support charging on the 1 amp USB port. So that's this one here. Aside from that, we have two LEDs here. One letting you know that it's in it does have charge. In fact, I believe it's at 40% right now. And then the power LED letting you know when it's in router mode. On the back here, you can see just the D-Link moniker as well as SharePort Go 3. And down here at the bottom, the serial number, I should say. Excuse me, serial port. Yeah, that'd be great. The bottom here on the other side, the opposite side, we do see a reset button. It's going to be helpful when you need to reset this thing back to defaults. And on the very bottom, we do see that port that you're going to use to charge the device as well as power it if you end up not having time maybe to charge it, or you just want to leave it on running all night and not have to worry about the battery running out on you. And a WAN port that is 10/100 Ethernet port. So keep that in mind as well. But let's go ahead and hook it up and take a look at the GUI. So I figured since you're probably going to use this in your hotel room and probably with your phone, I decided to show you what you could do with just the mobile app, the mobile browser, I should say, in your phone. So you have a couple different options on what URL you can go to. You can just go to 192.168.0.1 if you're using the default IP settings, or D-Link router, or I should say http:////dlink router.local. Or http:///dlink router. So you have a couple different options there. But if I zoom in here, you can see a little bit more information. Currently, I have it set up to work through our wireless, so it's got a WAN connection right now. It's working as a hotspot. It's got 40% life left on the actual device itself since I'm not charging it. And it's also giving me a warning here. Let me click on that actually. And it's warning me that my Wi-Fi SSIDs are not secure, and that's primarily because I haven't set any passwords for them or anything. So it's just trying to let me be aware of that. On the two outside bubbles we see here, the Wi-Fi clients that are currently connected, as well as the USB storage devices. But that's just a quick look at it. I'll just run through some of the management options we have here. So we have admin, system, upgrade, and statistics. Under settings, we have internet profiles, Wi-Fi, network, the LAN side, as well as, geez, I can barely see that. Oh, SharePort, as well as guest zone and my D-Link. But let's take a look at SharePort software. So I just downloaded and installed the My D-Link SharePort software, and this is basically going to allow me to connect in a USB device, and it will automatically aggregate whatever information that's on here and separate it into different pictures, movies, music, the different folder structure, as well as whatever favorites I make, and documents. So I'll just give you a quick example of what it looks like with some pictures here. I actually have some old stories that I have on here, my slides. So you can see it loads really quickly. No real wait time there on loading that. Go back to the home page here and look at different videos. Here's a video for you. This is actually one of the roommates from Kyle and Jenny's house, and actually somebody there from Funk, Claudia. But you can see videos are loading really quickly as well. I also have, I don't have any music on there, but the folder structure, and once again, documents. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up this overview of the DIR510L from D-Link. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to click the like button, and if you haven't already done so, click subscribe to any of our various YouTube channels, and we will see you guys soon.